Hey guys, thanks for coming back to my channel. It's Kevin here, and we've got one more video to film here for spring and summer, and it is my top 10 Yankee Candles all time for this time of year for the spring and summer months. I have 10 fragrances here, and I have a lot of experience with Yankee Candle, dating back about 15 years, I want to say. So I have as much experience, if not more, than pretty much anybody that's here currently on YouTube. So this isn't a list of, I didn't go off and purchase a bunch of black bands just as some sort of weird flex for a video like this. No, this is 10 candles that I've actually spent a lot of time with over the years. I've burned through at least one jar of everything I have here, and in many cases, multiple jars of the things I have here, and a lot of wax tarts throughout the years as well. So I've spent a lot of time with everything I have here. Let's get started on this one for my last video for spring and summer before we get into fall content. At number 10, it's this one right here. It is Lily of the Valley. Easily the best Lily of the Valley fragrance from any candle company that I've tried. And I've tried some good ones, and what makes it so great is the authenticity of it, and I think that's probably what's going to turn a lot of people off for this one. Now, this is one that you probably won't remember a bunch of people talking about and using. It's probably one of the purest florals that I've ever smelled, a very green Lily of the Valley, even something that's almost slightly perfumey. But if you've ever smelled Lily of the Valley in nature, that's just kind of how it comes across, kind of that soapiness, that cleanness of it. Even that a little bit of like something that's bitter and green. And really, we don't see this style of floral anymore from Yankee Candle, the true soul floor, really where they just use one note. They used to do that quite a bit. Now they're just kind of adding a lot of different other notes to them. Citruses and even colognes and woods and fruits and other florals. Yeah, but back in the day, they used to do the soul floors as well as anybody did, and they were probably the pioneers as far as that style of fragrance goes in a candle, and that is number 10, Lily of the Valley. That's a great way to get started on this list. Number 9 is a European release, and it's really a shame because I feel like this one would have done very well over here, but it's this one right here. It's Rhubarb Crumble. It is the only European release I have in this list, so I'm not expecting for many people to have smelled this one before, but many years ago, I actually learned of this one from somebody that lived in the US that was burning it here, so I know of at least one other person that's tried it. Yeah, it's that perfect marriage of tart rhubarb mixed with like a creamy crumble. It's not the most authentic bakery. It's more creamy than anything. But you guys know I love my rhubarbs, even in personal fragrance, love them in home fragrance as well. And I know not everybody is a fan of rhubarb, but when you kind of have that creaminess with it, softens it a little bit. Sweet and tart, love it. Rhubarb Crumble at number 9. And at number 8, oh boy, we're getting into some sentimental stuff. Meadow Showers. This is a fragrance that I want to say came back recently as a returning favorite over the past 3 or 4 years. Once upon a time, this used to be my go-to rainy day fragrance. Back when really all I was doing was Yankee Candles. There wasn't a day that rained that I did not pull this fragrance out, especially during the spring and summer months. It does have a little bit of something fresh, laundry fresh and clean, but it's mostly that kind of dewy greenness that I love about this one, and really prefer to burn this one on those kind of muggy, dreary days, very overcast, rainy days that just, want to stay in and curl up and read a book or watch a movie. But Meadow Showers at number 8. At number 7, it's the only black band in this list, but this made it further on, so it wasn't just exclusively in the black bands. Roses of Cliffwalk. I've talked about this one occasionally here on the channel. A very stemmy, watery rose fragrance. Now, back, let's say 7 or 8 years ago, back when The majority of the people on YouTube were still heavily involved in Yankee Candle. It was really between this, Roses of Cliffwalk, or Fresh Cut Roses from Yankee Candle. You were either one or the other. I feel like most people enjoyed this fragrance more than Fresh Cut Roses. Just going off of memory, that's kind of what I remember about it. But I've heard people describe this as kind of old smelling rose. Potpourri rose. I've heard it described as that before too. Heirloom rose from Scentsy has a very similar vibe to this. Very green and natural smelling. Roses of Cliffwalk at number 7. Oh, it's been several years since I burned that. I want to say the last time I burned it was around 2016 or so. Okay, the next one before we get into the top 5 is number 6 from the Girl Scouts collection. It is this one, Lemon and Sugar. And this fragrance, probably my favorite, Lemon Bakery from Yankee Candle. Oh, it's that sugary shortbread. It's like a dry shortbread note here. The lemon here is not tart at all. It's very sweet. The fragrance overall is very sugary sweet. The bakery here, specifically shortbread, so kind of that flaky, crumbly shortbread smell. Yeah, lemon and sugar at number 6 to finish out the first 5 in this list. Now, that first 5, you could have kind of flipped those however you wanted to, but this next 5 is very set in stone. So there's really no flipping these at all. They're very defined, very definitive top 5. We'll go with number 5, and this one is Honey Blossom. Now, I'm sure most people I'm gonna assume most people watching this video are not familiar with this floral fragrance. You're probably not used to seeing Honey Blossom being advertised over the years on social media and being talked about as a fragrance that people love. It is a very natural smelling honey. I wouldn't even describe it as something very floral heavy. It almost kind of feels a little tobacco, a little ambery, very warm even, but very thick and very sweet. And the honey fragrance here, the honey note in this, it's not pissy at all. Sometimes I know honey fragrances can turn people off because of that, but not Honey Blossom. The absolute best honey fragrance that I have ever smelled, and I've never really smelled anything like this from any candle company. They were really taking a chance with this one, and that's kind of what Yankee Candle did back then. I mean, to a degree, they didn't really care about mass appeal. They kind of just wanted to do what they wanted to do. And Honey Blossom, it's a great fragrance, great honey fragrance, but you kind of gotta like that really natural, sweet smelling honey. But yeah, number 5, I'd love to find something like this in this same vein for spring from other candle companies, but we're just not seeing anything like this. Honey Blossom at number 5. At number 4, a fragrance that very nostalgic for me for one reason, well, many reasons, but the last time I spent a lot of time with this fragrance was in 2020, the summer of 2020, and I burned through an entire large jar that summer. I swear I spent 6 weeks burning that candle, and I didn't burn it for long intervals, so I spent a lot of time with it throughout that summer, and it reminds me specifically of that summer. Key Lime Pie. I would say this is my second favorite all-time Key Lime Pie. I feel like Homeworks does it just slightly better, adds a little bit more crust here. There's not a ton of crust in this if I were to critique it even a little bit. Oh, but the key lime. Yeah, the key lime, you can tell a difference between, if you've ever tasted key lime juice as opposed to just straight lime juice, there is a definite difference. Key lime juice is much sweeter, and even, dare I say, has a little bit of a tropical feel to it. Key Lime Pie at number 4, and we're gonna get into my top 3 spring and summer Yankee Candles of all time. And at number 3, it's this one right here, Wild Seagrass. Now, I cannot count the amount of wax tarts that I have gone through in this fragrance. I think this might be the only candle that I have not finished multiple jars of in this list. But honestly, I've melted at least 30 of the wax tarts of this fragrance. There was one point where every haul I would place with Yankee Candle online, I would put, 3 or 4 of this fragrance in that haul. Oh, it's such a, I mean, first and foremost, it's very green, as you would expect. My top 3 focuses on green. It's got like a musky oak moss feel to it too. And there's something even slightly minty about it, minty and citrusy. And there's even florals that play at this. I don't know that I would really consider this a very floral heavy fragrance. It feels more dewy and watery than it does floral. I mean, the florals in it come off as watery, not necessarily like flowers, but still very grassy. Has that backbone of musk and almost kind of like an oak mossy feel. And that label is a perfect representation of this fragrance. Wild Seagrass at number 3. And now we're into my top 2. Really, these are the only 2 that I would say if you were to go searching on the black market for these fragrances, there's only 2 I would recommend paying the higher prices for, but nothing over $50 or $60 for either one of these. At number 2, it's this one right here, and it is Donggrass. Such an amazing, back when I used to do summer fragrances, Donggrass was one that I used to reach for all the time. I want to say I've gone through about 4 large jars of this particular fragrance. And just like Wild Seagrass, okay, they're sibling candles. This looks more like the mom, that looks more like the dad, really. You know, they're siblings, but they kind of have their own things going on. This one's definitely heavier, it's richer, it's thicker, but still very much a green fragrance. It smells very much of like fresh bamboo, citruses, a little bit of a floral aspect to it. Even with the name, there is something a little bit sandy about this fragrance as well. So going off of that Donggrass kind of feel, sandy and green, sandy and grassy, but watery green, not oceanic, not aquatic at all, really. Such an amazing green fragrance, one of the all-time best. We've seen candle companies try to replicate this over the years. I love Bath & Body Works Beach Grass. I mean, it's a very similar style fragrance in this. Kringle did one, their version of this fragrance recently, Botanicals. I think every candle company has tried to do something like this. None have equaled it. Donggrass at number 2. And number 1 is this one right here. I don't know how long this fragrance has been retired. Most of these are retired by now. This one feels like it's been retired forever, and really the only one that I would probably pay ridiculous prices for, but not too ridiculous, maybe 80, I don't know. I don't have a full large jar of it, that's why. And it is green grass. I have gone through equally the same amount of wax tarts of this one as Wild Seagrass. And we just do not see green grassy fragrances like this anymore. I know Scentsy has a fresh cut grass fragrance. I want to say it was a Bring Back My Bar here recently in the past few years. I never got my hands on that. I don't know what that smells like, but as far as candle companies go, we don't see that green grass, fresh cut grass style fragrance anymore. And it's such a shame because there's something so nostalgic about the smell of fresh grass and the greenness of it. I don't know if it's just something about my childhood or my young adult. I mean, there's also something very nostalgic about this as far as the time that I was spending the most amount of time with it, which was a few years ago. It's still something that's fresh in my mind, but still something I haven't even touched really or used in 5 or 6 years, probably even longer. It's just one of those that I just don't reach for much anymore. I don't really have anything else like it that I could kind of go to from another candle company and say that, yeah, that might reach it kind of close. No, nothing else really like this. There's a little bit of a fruitiness in this. It's not a fruity fragrance at all. It's very authentic, fresh cut grass. Yeah, just trying to find something like this throughout the years. Candle companies don't want to go to it. I don't know why. Maybe it just doesn't sell well. Maybe that type of fragrance, that scent profile, the smell of grass. But there you have it. Number 1 from spring and summer, all time from Yankee Candle. Just something fun to finish out spring and summer this year, guys. Feeling nostalgic with Yankee Candle. I'm gonna do this for fall content as well as we head into June. So expect to see more of this coming up here pretty soon. I appreciate you watching. I'll talk to you soon. See ya.